All right, if you guys look in the chat, there should be the link for the entry to the $100 Amazon gift card. As you know, as every digital sales training, we will be picking one winner for that $100 Amazon gift card. So make sure that you guys have entered that if you have not already. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm pretty excited about today's digital sales training. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So quick agenda just to kind of go over what we'll be touching on. Right now we're going to be discussing offering a digital solution, especially as we move into Q4. And there are a lot of exciting things that are happening just in regards to advertising on air and digital with holidays that are coming up. This is a fantastic time of year. It's my favorite time of year. Here in Utah, the weather's already changed quite abruptly. It's super cold now and super windy, and fall is in full force. And so a lot of different type of promotions that you can utilize throughout the next couple of months here. So we'll also be discussing funneling promotions. So how to present promotions to your clients and what promotions to present to them, making sure that they fit exactly their needs, and then kind of cultivating that. And as well, if you look through that email I sent, we will be talking about the case study library. If you have not had a chance, I will be showing you guys that library. We have about 7 pages of case studies available for you, right at your fingertips for you to peruse through and to kind of help explain a little bit more on how promotions have been utilized by other clients. So, and then of course, sales support and resources that are available to you. All right, so let's jump in. So what matters most right now? I wanted to definitely talk about this, especially as there is a big transition and change in the way that people are utilizing, especially clients or your clients, on people on how they are utilizing and how they're connecting with you. So all of this comes into the authenticity of that relationship. So that connection, do they feel that you're a source that's going to provide the results? And that's the key question, is what are those results that they are looking for? And so when we are incorporating the on-air solution with the digital, we're going to be able to present to them exactly what they're looking for with key attribution. With that being said, presenting innovative solutions, so that ability to confidently go to your clients, especially existing clients, ones that you have built relationships with, and presenting them with new ideas and solutions. Pretty self-explanatory, but it's always key. The other piece of that is building your relationship. Are you checking that pulse of your customer? Checking in on them more than just when you need something from them. Just making sure that that relationship is growing and it's not becoming stagnant or stale. It's always difficult to go back to those customers. And since I've been in sales, there's been times that in the past where I've neglected that relationship, and it's like, ooh, kind of awkward to reach out to them. So make sure you're reaching out to those customers and those clients and keeping that life going there. So, and then relevant content, making sure that the content that you're providing is going to be specific to them, and that it's not off the wall and it doesn't fit their criteria. That's going to come down to asking some key questions that are going to provide you with an opportunity to present to them a solution to make sure that you're giving them a golden lead. And then conversations, simply put, just asking past that, how are you doing? Asking more about their business and how they're handling, this whole COVID and this influx of change that has taken place, and moving towards, Q4. What are their plans for Q4, and just becoming an expert in what you're doing, and so that way that they can rely on you and that relationship full-heartedly. One second here. So keeping in mind, as you're speaking to, small and medium business, working with small and medium businesses can be super exciting. So right now, everyone is still online. They can reach, whether it's news, business, family, and friends, everything is accessible online. So again, it comes to that whole 365 degrees with that on air pushing that digital. So being able to remain agile, be able to pivot quickly and segment out your audience based on their needs. As I mentioned previously, designing out a golden lead or opportunity is going to be important. And then looking at similar industries, how have their services been affected? And asking those questions, how are they adapting? And then how have they affected not only your target audience of businesses that you can reach out to, but their target audience as well. As I mentioned, it's super exciting time to work with small and medium businesses because you can actually generate leads by asking referrals from those small and medium businesses. There was a survey done that's basically asked over thousands of business owners that were asked if they would be comfortable giving out referrals, and 84% of those businesses said that they would give out referrals, but only about 18 to 20% of salespeople are actually asking for referrals. There's obviously a few roadblocks that prevent from asking for referrals, and some of those are going to be, asking in a strategic manner. For example, timing is key. You don't want to be completely off the wall and making sure that it's appropriate. One of the suggestions I have with that is just making sure, once you've provided a result that's positive, that's when to ask a referral rather than just kind of calling up and saying, hey, can I have a referral? Because you're most likely going to get a simple no. And another piece of advice is asking for a specific referral, defining who you're really wanting to work with and what your goal is with the next opportunity. The key to working with small businesses, and all of you are aware, small business owners, they buy, or small and medium business owners, they buy into their area and in their local communities. And with that being said, they know other small business owners. So it's a great way to build those referrals and to really bring in new potential business that is key to you. And then moving to the next point is staying authentic. Again, going back to the previous slide, just being real with your customers and your clients can be a huge difference in a short-term relationship compared to a long-term relationship. If you're more authentic, you can count on those relationships growing more and more, and that business going to stay with you more than just a couple of months. So you want those, lifetime business relationships. So why Aptivata, and why right now? I've talked on this about the whole 360 degree, but this is so key and so important that even right now, your clients, especially with small businesses, small medium businesses, they are competing in the digital space every single day of every single minute of every day, and their needs are going to change from increased web traffic, social media followings, overall online interaction, and have even pushed more towards a e-commerce side of things. And I'll get into that in a little bit. With that e-commerce, you're going to look at more of that data attribution and lead generation. So amplifying the promotion by combining Aptivata and the on-air with the station is going to be key to executing all of these things that your clients need. So why advertise right now? This is going to be a key point, just understanding that during the COVID first, Q2, even parts of Q3, there were some brands that went completely dark. And during these time frames, 60% of brands that went dark during an economic downturn, which is like no ad spend for 6 months. And you might even be receiving pushback that there's cuts and there's furloughs. And so there are going to be places that are going to receive cuts, and part of that's going to be ad spend. That's going to have an overall brand decrease of 24%, as well as a brand image decrease of 28%. Now, the problem with these decreases is that sometimes businesses won't come back from that. This is going to be, lack of a better term, nail in the coffin when it comes to small and medium businesses. So being able to present to them a solution that they can then utilize, again, it's going to take it back to the authenticity and providing, the newest and most relevant content possible. And then during the 1999 or 1991 recession, as you can see, McDonald's actually dropped its advertising budget, but Pizza Hut and Taco Bell actually took advantage of that time frame, and their sales grew by 61%, and then Taco Bell's grew by 40%, while McDonald's sales declined by 28%. Even though McDonald's was able to pretty much come out of it. I mean, they're everywhere, multi-billion-dollar industry here. But it's a key point just to point out that there are going to be opportunities for businesses to grow as they shift towards that on-air and digital budget. So some key points I want to talk about is right now, 1 out of 4 business owners are actually moving towards a digital solution. So pairing the on-air with digital is going to give them the boost that they need, especially when they're not familiar with like digital marketing campaigns. There's some businesses that are just not familiar. So when you're able to provide something as simple as a sweepstakes promotion, where it's going to generate some leads for them that they can engage with, it's going to not only impress them, but it's going to excite them about what the future brings for them. They need some of that, that light at the end of the tunnel, and you guys can be that, especially with that data attribution that you provide at the end of a promotion. So, this is interesting because this crisis that has happened with COVID has actually kind of accelerated a few trends in a spectacular way, and a lot of that is that the digital solution. So a lot of companies, due to social distancing, are actually moving towards a way to engage with that digital side of things, and a lot of that is going to be digital conversions and what that looks like. So brick and mortar focused businesses that have pushed off becoming like e-commerce websites are actually forced to pretty much adapt and likely to continue providing an online type of ordering system or some type of engagement. So providing Aptivada and providing promotions into that engagement is going to be key for you guys to help continue providing those innovative solutions, as I had mentioned earlier. So the investing in digital during this pandemic, a lot of businesses, as I mentioned, have decreased brand spend. However, if you incorporate these ideas, they're going to be able to see some amazing results, as you've seen with like Pizza Hut and Taco Bell with their total sales growth from that. So moving forward here, again, it's just understanding your client's needs and what does it look like to them. So what, at the end of the day, what does success look like during the transition? So when you, at the end of a promotion, you've run everything, what are they expecting? You don't want to get to the end of it and you've told, we're going to be able to provide, A through Z, but you only provided A through H. And you want to make sure that they have the correct expectations and that those are fulfilled. So you're going to have the ability to increase awareness of current status and giving them updates throughout the promotion, online and delivery sales. So this is going to be key. You guys can utilize our confirmation emails to even help push if a small business or small or medium business has pushed towards more of an e-commerce and they're trying to sell more digitally. You can actually tie in their product within our confirmation emails, and that can actually help boost overall sales. Just kind of an example of that, we had a client that posted exactly what I was mentioning, just put some product in that confirmation email, and they were able to boost about $8,000 in overall sales. And so when you have those conversations after a promotion is ran and see that, hey, there are sales that are being attributed just by simply clicks through an email, again, that's going to make a happy customer, and it's going to be happy for you because you're going to be able to retain that client more and more. So again, building newsletter and remarketing lists. So at the end of promotion, you're going to be able to create those newsletters and marketing from people who have opted into through the promotion itself. As mentioned, with data attribution for consumer grassroots feedback, and reducing your attrition, increasing recurring business. Again, everything that we've discussed thus far is all to promote a healthy lifespan of a business relationship for you and your customer that you're working with. And increases conversion rate. So that can be whether it's a conversion rate in regards to sales for you, or it's a conversion rate in regards to your sponsor that you're working with, whatever that conversion rate is to them. It's it's increasing that conversion. And I'll get more into what that sales funnel looks like here in just a sec, more into that funneling promotions. So funneling promotions is, and again, it's going to further dive into more understanding your client's needs, from potential to contacts to leads to finalists to clients. This is going to be kind of a two-front where it works for you, where you're focusing, this is a sales funnel for your team and for moving along your advertisers and sponsors that you're working with to making them clients. But on the flip side, it's also your clients and the people, the audience and the people that you're engaging with on air and carrying them through the marketing solutions. So, as you're offering the on-air and digital, you'll begin the sales funnel for your client. And it's important to note that the listeners that are hearing your message could be hearing that message for the first time, and could be hearing about the business that you're announcing over on air for the very first time. So it should be your goal to optimize this interaction and give the best possible experience. So what is that experience and what does that pertain to? So when tying into these promotion, you're giving them something to fully engage with. And this is where you're taking potential, which are going to be anyone who's basically listening to the radio. Obviously this means that 100% of people who are listening might not fit 100% of what your client is looking for. Let's say your client is, a local four-wheeling outdoor business, and the person that's listening is a 92-year-old grandma. They might not necessarily fit a lead, or might not fit best for your client. And so that's where you're going to be able to introduce different type of lead capturing options, whether it's sweepstakes or gallery or surveys. And we all know radio is king, so it is literally the life force that excels the individuals or the audience through these type of promotions. And that's where you're going to be able to get the 100% lift in engagement under the promotions is on air. These promotions aren't really anything without that on air or the traffic being driven to them. So that's where that whole 360 degrees is incorporated. So, and then with leads, this is going further than presenting at the end of a promotion, presenting the normal, first name, last name, and email. You're going to be able to provide tangible and grassroots data that is mentioned previously. And not only will your clients become lifetime clients, but your audience will become familiarized with the promotions that you do, that they will come back and participate in more and more and more promotions. So we always are suggesting, this kind of comes into the do's and don'ts of running a digital promotion. We always suggest to run at least 2 to 3 promotions a month, if not more. There are some stations that might run 1 promotion a month, and that's not enough to keep top of mind with your audience for them to come back and to continue to engage. We want them to be able to, obviously listen in to increase your guys' overall ratings, but at the end of the day, to be able to provide generated leads to your clients and advertisers. So again, run multiple promotions throughout the month to help generate more and more leads. So finalists. So again, this is where it comes to qualifying the leads. This is where the golden leads start to live. Golden leads, this is where you're able to ask more of the detailed questions, phone number, address, zip code, date of birth, and you're asking more of those fine-tuned and specific questions that your customer has pretty much laid out for you that they need at the end of the promotion. And for clients, that's going to be, simply put, whether it's a conversion for your client in regards to somebody that has engaged with the promotion has converted from them, or a client continues on in more and more business because they are excited about how a promotion has been built. And as you run them through the cycle, whether you're starting with on air all the way through promotion, again, at the end of it, you will be able to provide your clients with basically a CSV of all the people who have participated within the promotion itself. So diving in, this is just a refresher on the products that we use to utilize, or that you can utilize to engage fans, whether it's sweepstakes, photo, video contests, surveys. You can host, or you can post and share these contests on Twitter and Instagram. Bracket competitions. We have our pro football pick'em that's going on right now. User database, data management, analytics, and reporting that you guys can utilize, again, to build not only your newsletter, but to then pass on to your clients as well. So sweepstakes, basically creating a very specific campaign and goals directed for on digital and social as well. And these are some of the options that you can either require or have incentivized, where your listeners or fans that are going to participate can complete and help grow. So again, this is going further down that sales funnel to building that golden lead or opportunity. And by completing these, it's going to help your clients grow, whether they're trying to grow their Twitter or their Snapchat. If they're trying to grow their Instagram, I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities that they can participate in to help drive results. And then for gallery, now this is usually the power of user-generated content. I mean, gallery is amazing. It's one of my favorite apps, if not my favorite app, just because of not only the customization that comes from it, but the ability to actually generate live leads that you can, visual leads that you can see, whether it's a picture or a video itself. But you can have it broken down into from voting and rounds, as well as tying in obviously the advertiser logo and branding, and even upload via hashtags on Instagram. One thing I want to touch base on real quick with gallery is actually in this next slide. So gallery, and if you've been on a few of my digital sales trainings, I've kind of touched base on this before, but I think it's a good reminder. You can actually utilize gallery to provide a source that you can generate leads from. Now, in the Ocala, Florida market here, you can actually see that they use the gallery app. This was back in March during the quarantine to build a directory where businesses could just upload at no cost to them, just upload a little bit information about who they are, what were the extra precautions they were taking, and whether they were doing curbside carryout or pickup, whether they're doing delivery service, cashless transactions, any other important messages. This is a free service that you guys could just offer. Again, if you have not seen this, that you can offer to, on your station where businesses can provide, and then you could then reach out to those businesses to say, hey, your information is lived on our website, and this is the other things that we can offer. And that's combining that on air and explaining what on air packages you have, and then explaining, hey, that gallery that you entered was actually part of our digital solution. This is how we can utilize this digital solution for you. So again, it can be sweepstakes, it can be surveys. You can get extremely creative on what tools you guys have, but it's always nice to have leads just kind of coming to you rather than having to, make those cold calls. So I definitely know how that feels. So. And then with surveys, surveys are going to be the qualifying tool when it comes to presenting the most qualified leads possible to your advertisers. It's an easy user interface, so it's not complicated for people to participate through, and definitely advanced analytics and reporting on this. So again, you're going to be able to present, if you present a survey that has 8 questions, 8 to 10 questions, you can then pass on those answers to your partner, your advertiser that you are working with. And again, question type variety. I mean, you can mix up what type of questions are asked, and then outcome for quizzes. You can even put in specific, Q&As in there that you want answered, or if they're wanting to answer. For example, we have an example of this on our examples.media page where it's a mortgage company that asks questions like, are you currently renting or owning a home? For a mortgage company, it's important to know that if someone's renting, or if they're going to be first-time home buyers. So you can get pretty specific with what questions are asked. Through that survey. And then don't forget about integrations. I've had a couple conversations over the last couple weeks on integrations. There's been kind of a huge focus on presenting real-time leads and some data security points. What you're seeing here, we have different marketing and CRM tools that we have connected, for example, like Salesforce, MailChimp, Zapier, where when someone participates within a promotion itself, for example, a sweepstakes specifically, that lead information can be automatically uploaded to your client's CRM and marketing tool. Now, there are some times that we don't necessarily have a CRM that we have built. Maybe it's a not as popular CRM that your client's utilizing. However, there are some conversation pieces that we can have. So, let us, bring it to our attention, let us know, and we can at least see if there is a way to make it work. For example, Zapier actually connects to thousands of different ones, and you can use Zapier Zaps to connect a promotion to those that we might not already have connected. So again, there are ways that we can make it work to get those real-time leads to your clients. Now, Idea Studio, I'm going to quickly show you. Let me hop over here. If you go to our ideas.aptivada.com, I want to show you real quick we have completely changed it here, but if you look, we have actually a library of case studies. So on this right-hand side, if I click on case studies, we have different verticals and categories that you can click through, or if you wanted, you can actually click through the 7 pages of case studies to go through and actually see how people are utilizing Aptivada to give you some more of a creative boost on how you can sell this to your potential client. So again, that's ideas.aptivada.com, and then you can click right into the case study. Okay, one second here. Okay, this wasn't listed on the agenda, but I definitely want to bring this to your guys' attention, especially when you're presenting promotions moving forward into Q4. If you have new clients that you're working with, it's good to start them right now with maybe some smaller promotions to get them interested, but have these conversation pieces that there is going to be the home for the holidays that they can participate in. This is honestly one of the, I would say, our favorite promotion of the year for Aptivada. It's my favorite promotion of the year, just to see all of the people who are participate, and one lucky winner is going to have their mortgage or rent paid for a month. And Aptivada covers that price. Guys, we are covering that price. Can't say that enough. It's awesome. It's easy to cover, it's easy to find some advertisers that want to participate in that, because it's nice to have their name tied to a prize like this. Some ideal people or ideal customers you can work with, mortgage companies right on top of mind, you name it. So this is coming up. The pre-promote on this is November 1st through the 7th. We have some sales, like from what you're seeing here, this is kind of like a sales package that gives you kind of like an understanding on how the promotion will work. You guys will still have the idea or the ability to have some bonus entries for the promotion itself to participate through. And then the home for the holiday sponsorship opportunities. So we kind of broke it down for name inclusions for the time frame that the promotion is going to run, name mentions. And again, this is something that we can attach, and we will go into more and more detail as the time goes on. But keep this on your calendar and radar that it is right around the corner, and you can start working towards getting a sponsor involved with this. So, and again, some resources on this. So help the Aptivada, Idea Studio, as well as if you want to message into support at aptivada.com, you can do so as well. So one second here. I know we're up to our 30 minutes. So let me check. Tim, was there any questions that we wanted to go over live real quick?
Yeah, if you can pull up the Q&A, there's a few that we can address on there.
Okay, one second here.
And if you're having a hard time finding it, I can read them off to you.
Okay. Go ahead and read those off. I cannot access it right now.
Yeah, so the first one is any best practices / cheap tricks to entice new or potential clients into contesting. Often local regional leads are hard to budge on providing prizes for a digital buy. Outside of comparing costs of prize against anticipated new revenue out of the funnel, that's hard for some small businesses to wrap their heads around. They only see additional expense. Do you have any experience with that?
Yeah, so a lot of that comes to positioning on how the product, how you present the product, and again, that is super hard. It's a hard piece, especially in sales. But basically, making sure that the value and understanding of what they are going to be receiving out of the promotion, and understanding that the bigger the prize, as straightforward as this is, the bigger the prize, the more engagement that typically happens, and we all understand that. So some of those tricks we might want to look into more, but sometimes even with when you're going to sell initially to the small and medium businesses, you can completely customize how much you even sell Aptivata for. And so if you wanted to even price in the price into the digital package of what you would be selling, you can absolutely do so as well. That's just going to allow you to get your feet wet, or get their feet wet into doing a digital promotion. And as they continue to do those smaller and smaller promotions, it might open more and more doors for you to sell to a bigger promotion. Especially, for example, like the Home for the Holidays will be a good promotion that they can get tied into, where we are giving the 15th, the prize for the the rent or mortgage for a year. So get them into that and provide some of the leads that are generated from that, so that way they have some confidence moving forward.
All right, so next one, where were those sample survey questions at?
Yeah, so the sample survey questions are going to be located at examples.media. And when you type in examples.media, it will pull up our web page that if you click on examples when you get there, there's going to be a bunch of different live examples, from surveys to sweepstakes to galleries, that you guys can click through. Let me go ahead and show you real quick here. So if I click examples.media, it's always nice to have a visual. 1 second here. And I click on contests. You can see that we have a bunch of different promotions that you guys can go through. So for example, the mortgage survey, if I click into mortgage survey, there's going to be some example questions there for you.
Great.
And then we will be providing, at the end of this call, we'll make sure that we email out this sales deck in a PDF file, as well as this call will be recorded for you guys to access, so you guys can go back. If there's any ideas that have popped into your head that you might have not written down, it's always nice to go back and to rewatch this. And as I mentioned, we will get this deck sent out to you at the end. So
great.
Then,
that should do it for the questions.
Okay, perfect. Now let's go ahead and choose a winner real quick here. So again, guys, thank you so much for sitting through this. If your name is called, go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll make sure that we get your information out and select it. So 1 second here. Go ahead and choose a winner for the $100 Amazon gift card. All right, Tyler Gunnis. Tyler, are you here? Go ahead and raise your hand. Oh, let's see. Tyler is here. Awesome. Tyler, we'll get that Amazon gift card emailed out to you after this call. So again, everyone, thank you so much for participating in this month's digital sales training. We do have a tips and tricks at the fourth Tuesday of the month. If you guys want to participate in that as well, that's hosted by Tim Sessions. And we look forward to speaking with you further. Thanks.